kind of realized that I think I'm in love. And it's kind of crazy because I don't think I was ever like, Jesus. Give me a second. Okay. I really thought that I was going to like find love again because, well, the last girl I was with, she basically manipulated me with like, I guess, talks of like, trying to end it all or whatever. What the fuck is this? I'm gonna have to bleep that out. I don't think I'm supposed to curse. Well, I mean, I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do with these yet. I might just upload them to YouTube. No, maybe I'll like draw something to go with them. This isn't really like scripted either. I'm just kind of like rambling about what I feel. It's currently 11:37 p.m. It's December 19th, 2021. And I am laying down. Oh, sorry. I had to get a little comfortable there. Oh, fuck. Jesus. It's fucking cold down here. And I'm laying here. And I am looking for something that I cannot fucking find. Wow. Fucking figures, huh? I should probably pause this until you give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Had to go find something. No. I'll just drop my fucking recorder. Hopefully still doing its job. Okay, yep it is. Sick. So, I kind of like split this up into like a couple tapes, I guess, because I got like a lot I want to talk about. And I guess I am normally not really a reliable source, so, but a lot of people have asked, well, obviously not like Vance or anything, because I got a lot of those. Most people don't really like me. It's weird, but I mean, nah. What do you gotta do? So I guess get a little tired. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is this is just gonna be a little story of my life, I guess. And because I'm recording, at least I don't have to write anything. I always get so distracted when I'm writing. It's weird, It's like my phone just turned off. Oh, there we go. It's always weird, like writing, because you don't know what you're gonna write, and you kind of just, you just write whatever you feel. Let's see. I guess we can start from my youth. And I'm talking like way back. Christ, I'm talking like I'm fucking 60. I'm only 22. Okay, so I guess we go back to my birth. I guess that's like a good place to start, huh? So, I was born August 18th, 1999, in New York City. Out of all the fucking places I could have been born. And the most ironic part is I didn't even live in New York for all that long of my life. Maybe a couple months, but I was like really young, so I don't remember it. And sorry. Fuck. I got like a fly in my throat. So, if I can remember correctly, which I mean, obviously I don't. I was like fucking a couple months. My mom always tells me a story of how she met my dad. My dad did too, and he wasn't dead. Kind of like a really blunt statement. I don't know. But my dad was a good dude while he was alive. He was a little angry sometimes, but he was a good dude. Never put his hands on me. If he did, like, insult me, it was usually things that I could control but let happen. And I'll get into that a little later, but for the most part, he was a really solid guy. He was a soldier, he was a musician, and he was actually believe it or not, a pro wrestler. For those of you who know me personally, you'll know that that's not made up. That's all accurate. My dad freaking did it all. I'm gonna try to swerve from cursing because I don't want, you know. Actually, I don't really care. These aren't gonna get monetized. Nobody's gonna care about these. Maybe like 1,000 people will see this. I don't know, but um, yeah. So I should have wrote a script because this is a lot, but I do not like writing anymore. So, uh, yeah, back to New York. I lived there for a couple months, and my dad lived in Jersey, so my mom decided to move to Jersey for my dad, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. I mean, imagine it. You have a kid with this guy, or you have a kid with this woman, and she is willing to move from one state that she has lived at her whole life to be with you in another state. That's just insane. In a good way, though, because, at that point, I guess my dad knew that my mom was the one. I don't know. But I'd say a couple months after I was conceived, my mom got pregnant again, and 9 months later, out comes Rocco. Had like a messed up kidney at birth. I don't know. Mom doesn't really talk about it a lot. But he was fine. He grew up, and he's... I don't know. But again, I'll get into that later. And then another, 9 months later, we had our youngest brother, Sonny. He was born, and, you know, everything was good until it wasn't, and not really to put my parents' business out there, because I don't want them to really know what happened. Well, I mean, I guess I should probably explain anyway. So, we weren't the wealthiest of families. We weren't rich. Wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I would have probably been lucky to be born with a fucking Dairy Queen spoon in my mouth. Obviously reused and washed, but, it's just how I grew up. It's humble beginnings, and I don't blame it. There's a lot of situations that aren't my story, so I can't really tell. But there's a lot of reasons for why that happened. Now, my youngest brother, he was on, I think food stamps, and his food stamps got cut off because the state of New Jersey is a fucking bullshit ass state, but whatever. So, they got cut off, and my mom and dad went to go get them turned back on, I guess. I'm talking like it's a fucking light switch. No, nah, damn, I said I wasn't gonna curse. Ah, shit, fuck. Alright, well, whatever. So, they went to go to I guess, I don't know, the welfare office? I don't know what it's called. They went there to go get it turned back on, and it was good. I think they went there and they were waiting. They didn't want us to go there because they didn't want us seeing, quote unquote, those people. I'm using my fingers to make the little quotations, but you can figure out what they meant. And fuck, I'm tired. And then came the shitstorm, and again, it's taken me a lot of years to kind of diminish some responsibility to this, but I mean, I didn't find out until like 3 years ago, but whatever. I got out the house because my grandmother, while she was alive, was an amputee due to a disease, and she had a homemaker come in, and my dad didn't like her because instead of letting us watch cartoons, she would watch novellas and shit in the fucking kitchen. And then my dad got mad and put the TV in, I guess, their room, I think. And I guess she didn't like that very much, so she kind of left, but she left the door open. And I was like a little kid, so I didn't really know better, and I kind of walked out. And I guess nobody really knows what happens after this, but the running theory was that the neighbor across the street who didn't like my dad, he picked me up, and then the cops called them and said I was hit by a car, and they came back, and a lot of stuff that I don't want to get involved in. I just want to say my parents weren't great parents. It's the state, I guess, aren't good people. So they took me and my younger brother and my oldest brother. She's my youngest older brother. Jesus. And they put us in group homes, and we were in there for a while. Is it 1 in the morning? No, it's only 11:48. Jesus. So they put us in group homes. Well, first foster care, and that's where Rocco and Sonny are to this day. My oldest, well, I keep saying oldest, my older brother Charlie, he got placed into a group home, but I guess they gave him back. I don't really know how that works either. And then me, I went to a couple foster homes after that. I was too young to remember most of them, but if memory serves correctly, one of my foster homes made me eat a fish head, and I started crying. And that actually started like this whole thing with me where I don't like things with bones in them. Don't ask why. I can't eat chicken wings. I can't eat pork chops with bones in it. I can't eat anything with bones. Turkey legs, drumsticks, whatever. Nothing with bones. So that happened. There's a couple memories that flash my brain from like that point in my life. Like this one time, I think I was watching either Steel or Shazam. I don't remember. I just remember that there was this one scene with this guy. He had like a martini glass or something, and he started eating like goat's eyes out of it, or olives. I don't know. I was really young and stupid, but I'm like 60% sure they were goat eyes. I remember thinking it was fucking gross. And then came another place which kind of explained the concept of birthdays to me, because back then I thought your birthday was any day you wanted it. You just had one. And when they said that to me, well, when they explained to me that you only had one birthday, I took it as, I don't even know. I think I just took it as you have like one fucking birthday. So I guess you're only allowed to age 1. That's it. And it's over. I don't know. I was a really dumb kid. I believed a lot of stupid shit. And after that, they put me into another foster home. This time, this family with a husband named James and 2, I guess, of their own kids, and his wife Carla. Now, James was kind of a dickhead. James, if you're listening to this, go fuck yourself, because you're a piece of shit. And I was like 3, so James was like in his like mid-40s, early 30s. He was, very tall, built African American guy, and Carla was like this really nice, like, kind of bubbly grandma-like figure. She was cool. Like, I didn't really have any issues with her. It was James I didn't like. He was a piece of shit. I remember, like, he would just come home drunk and like beat on us, and it was just like, what the fuck, dude? You're trying to make my life better, not worse, asshole. But I guess I did have a lot of energy for a kid, and that's my way of saying I bounced off the fucking walls like a ping pong ball. And that lasted for a while. I don't know how long exactly, because again, time didn't really make sense. But eventually I got sent to a group home in Paramus, which, if you know Jersey, that's Bergen County. Moved from Hudson to Bergen. I mean, I don't know where I was in between. Don't ask me. I can't fucking remember. I didn't even know that there was different towns. I thought we all lived in one big-ass town. I mean, at that point, I still thought Spain, or I guess, like, Spanish countries were actually Chinese, so. Yeah, I guess you can chalk that up to the naivety of, like, a 3-year-old with the brain of, like, a goldfish. Oh, my God. Yeah, ADHD is not fun. Over the years, I've learned to control it, but some of these stories you'll hear is because I had the brain of a, excuse me, I'm tired. Because I have the brain of a squirrel. Yeah. That reminds me of a story. I'll make a note of that and tell that in another video. I guess I could do that for my middle school years. But, so I got put into this group. and I don't really remember much about it. I remember bits and pieces. Like, I remember I learned how to ride a bike there, to which this neighbor of the group home kind of was an asshole, and he almost ran me over, but luckily I jumped off the bike at like the last second before the car hit. But when it did hit, it kind of swiped off my training wheels, so I kind of had to learn how to ride a bike at like 4. Which, I mean, comes in play later on because in my teens I didn't really have a car. I learned how to drive a lot later in life, and I just kind of rode my bike places. I used my skateboard, but I'll get into that when I get into that, I guess. So, a lot of stuff, like I said, like that. There was also that time this kid cut his lips off. I don't remember it all that well. I was really young. There's a lot of like weird things I remember from my youth. Like, mm, like there was this one time. Well, the school the group home went to was connected to a church, and the church was kind of spooky, and we all thought it was haunted. But I guess it was just because it was like the middle of the day, and it was never Sunday we went there, so. But I digress. Point is, I actually remember the name of the school too. Holy hell. It was, it was, Hillcrest. You know, it was like a pre-K or something. But it was like mixed ages or whatever. And, back to what I was saying, there was one time I remember picking a key up off like the top of the door hinge, like the door frame, and I actually unlocked the door. Oh, that's crazy. Imagine a 3-year-old knowing how to do that. Well, I guess I was 4 at this time. And then we go to some other events I remember. I remember this one time this dude brought in like sheep liver and sheep hearts and intestines. Not like some random serial killer. He was like from like a doctor's office or something. Or I guess a science lab. I don't know. It's laying tired. I'm only gonna finish up to this part anyway. So he kind of like had gloves on. He was touching it. Oh. And yeah, then there was that one time I got like a lizard bit my ear or something. Yeah, I actually got the ridges still. I was really young and I can't really remember it all that well. I just remember like feeling pain as it bit down on my ear, and I got ridges on the top of my ear from that. So that's cool, I guess. Let's see what else happened. Again, like I said, there was that time the kid cut off his lips because I don't even know. He just did it. He just fucking went for it. He did it, and he had no morals for it. He just kind of said, "Sk," and I was like, ah. I do remember like a bit of the situation. I remember we were in art class. We had a free day, and we were watching 101 Dalmatians. It's weird that I remember it, but fuck it, just go with it, I guess. And then we also have there's a lot like I remember this one time we were watching Scooby Doo, the live action one. Not like the newer ones, it was like the original with Matthew Lillard. Which I think was the island one. I don't remember if that's the first or the second one. I think it's the first one though, because I think the second one it's like almost hot and like hello. That was corny. Oh god. Anyway, the point is, I drew like all over myself with the pen I took. And I thought they were so cool, but looking back at my artwork from that, oh my god, it was probably so bad. I used to like draw things and I would like act it out as I was drawing it, I guess for my entertainment, but like it doesn't make sense if you think about it because like I'm drawing these things and making them happen, but at the end of the day, it's the same fucking picture. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. In fact, I probably fucked up a lot of good paintings by doing that, but anyway. Point is, there was that. There was also, like, a couple trips. I don't remember this one time. We went to this resort in PA. Ski resort. It's called Camel Mountain, Camelback Mountain, something like that. It was a ski resort in the winter and I guess like a water park in the summer or something. I don't know. And I guess the last like couple of memories I have really good before. Let me explain. Like I remember we had this house computer. It was like an old Windows 98 fucking gray box monitor. And I remember I used to play this Harry Potter game for the PC. And this is back before Steam. Like, Steam wasn't even a fucking thing. If you wanted to play on your computer, you had to get a disc and you had to wait for that shit to download. And you have fucking AOL online, so all you hear is beam boom, beam boom, like all that, and you're just like, what the fuck? But I remember this game very vaguely. I remember I was really fucking bad at it too. And I used to hate games where you had to drive in cars. As an adult, I guess I kind of like them more. And like, I love Saints Row 3. It's fun as hell. Especially when you're driving fast as hell on nitros. Whee! You just run over pedestrians and shit. That's great. But back then, I used to hate driving levels. Like, I used to hate this one segment of the game where you had to, like, be on a broomstick and play Quidditch or some shit. I also remember you had to collect jelly beans or something. Yeah, that was a weird fucking game. But I remember doing that. I remember this one time. There's a lot of stories. I guess I'll just tell some of them. I guess that's why I'll go with this. There's this one time they made us tea at this place, and like, oh, I should probably mention I wasn't the only kid there. There was a couple other kids. If I can remember the layout correctly, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was about 12 of us. I think this is going back like in my toddler years. So I don't even fucking know, but I think there was about 12 of us. And I remember none of the names except for one, and it's a really weird reason why I remember it. His name was Rodney, and he, you know, this is gonna sound really weird. I don't remember it all that well, but I remember he had to go to the hospital for something one day. And because they didn't have any staff at the group home to watch me, they had to take me with them to go get him from the hospital. And he came back in the car drugged up out of his fucking mind. And I think he was holding a bottle of piss. Or a jar of piss. It remains to be seen. I don't remember. Well, if you're listening to this, Rodney, this is the little fucking baby dude who is at that place. And if you know the place, you know who I am. And that was weird, and I really don't know what the fuck you were doing. Anyway, so let's see, there's a bunch of other things. Like, I remember Halloween this one year. I guess like the first Halloween I can actually remember. Street cleaners going on outside. So I remember this one year. I think I dressed up as a Power Ranger, but the costume was so itchy and scratchy, and I didn't fucking like it. It was like as bad as the Scooby Doo costume I had one year, and it was such a bad costume. It was hot as shit and that shit. They made me walk around a school. The tag was like going into the back of my neck. I hated it so much, but I endured, I guess. Anyway, there was that, and there's like a bunch of other little details and stuff. Like this one time, oh man, this was the funniest thing ever, I think. Oh, well, I kind of just had an epiphany, I guess. Like I said, I'm an adult now, but back then I didn't really understand things. So in group homes, there's this thing called being restrained. It depends on the type of group home you are, if it's non-contact or contact, but for most of the group homes I've been in my life, yeah, there's more after this story, don't worry. There's a lot more. That's going to be a whole fucking video. But, so in group homes, there's this thing called restraint, and basically what they do is make it so you can't hurt them and they can't hurt you. Now, hospitals have the same thing, but they have something called a medical restraint, which basically just means they trank your ass and throw you in the happy padded room for a couple hours. Anyway, as I was saying, I remember this one time, back to like the main story at hand. I don't remember why I was bugging out, but I was bugging out. They pissed me off or something. I think I wanted a cookie or wanted to watch TV or some shit. And they wouldn't give it to me, so I freaked out, started jumping up and down off my little bed. And then I had a pencil in my hand, and the eraser popped off and flew into my mouth. And they're all freaking out because they think the eraser's poisonous. And I think, holy shit, I'm about to die. They run downstairs, get me water. I'm crying. I used to cry all the time as a kid. Wow. But they go get me water. and everything was fine. And that's I think like most of my memories. There was this tire park that we used to go to, which is gonna play very important into the story later. You remember that? Anyway, it was around this time, I guess, behind the scenes, they were trying to get me into a foster home again. And eventually they found Karen and Ramon. Insert last name here because I'm not going to have to deal with those fuckers in court again. Again, I'll explain in a different video. And the way I met them is actually kind of like a really stupid story. I remember my Davis worker, or DCPMP, or CPS for those of you not familiar with Jersey, decided to take me out to get like dinner, and she took me out. She wanted to go to McDonald's, but I didn't like McDonald's. Although I did like McDonald's, I just didn't remember which place had the little chopped onions in the burger or on the bun. It was McDonald's. I was wrong. So she took me to Burger King, and I got a little kids meal, and then she wanted me to go to McDonald's, and I was like a 5-year-old. I'm like, I guess like a 4-year-old. I'm like, what the fuck? Hell yeah, McDonald's. Shit, let's go. And I guess I was 5 at the time because a year had passed. So I was like 5 or whatever. And yeah, no, like she took me. How old am I? Okay. So she took me to. Oh boy, my body. And then she took me to McDonald's where I met Karen. And she showed me pictures of her dog, and I was like, cool dog, bro. I don't care. I gotta go on this little kitty jungle gym thing. I was a weird fucking kid. And then comes the shitstorm, I guess. Started spending overnights there, and slowly they became my foster parents. And I guess if you want to hear what happens after that, just, let me know, I guess. I'm going to record it anyway. Not now, because I want to go to sleep, but yeah, that's the story, I guess, of me. So far, at least. I'm going to try to record the next one either tomorrow. I am that, but I don't going to work, so. Until next time, I guess this is kind of like an audio log. I don't even know anymore. I'm going to try to space these out as far as I can. Well, peace out, party people. And remember, don't stick your willies in toasters because they will fry.